Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a video I'm doing today for you guys about the assassination of the president of Haiti. Some new information has come out about the status of one of the defendants in the assassination case, who happens to be, I kid you not, an FBI informant. But there's intelligence connections running all through this. But I think before we get into that, I want to get into some of the things that have happened in the past in Haiti. We're going to do a brief history lesson. Yes. So let's get into that. But before I do, if you are new here, my name is Christina. I cover stories that I think are underreported in the mainstream news. I like to look at corruption of intelligence agencies, and I just talk about things and make videos about things that I find interesting. I'm working on a documentary in the Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot case. That is currently in the works. The trailer for that is out now. There's also a fundraiser going on for the documentary. I have a Give, Send, Go set up to help me complete the documentary. You can find all of that information on the landing page on my website, which is just www.radixverum.com. Right now, it's still under construction, but you'll see links to all of those things. You'll see links for donations if you want to watch the trailer for the documentary. You'll see that embedded there. And you can just find ways to contact me and find ways to follow me on all of my social media. All right, with that out of the way, let's talk about Haiti. So these are the group of men that were arrested and charged with the assassination. So we're looking at guys who probably have cartel connections, among connections to the CIA, DEA, and FBI. So I just wanted to show you what they look like. Now, let's talk about the earthquake that happened in Haiti back in 2010. The Clintons were heavily involved in that. The State Department, USAID, a slew of NGOs made their way into Haiti to quote unquote help Haiti rebuild. You can see this picture here. You've got Bill and Hillary Clinton in the middle there. This was really good for them to make it look like, oh, look how charitable they are. And it's a good way to launder money under the guise of helping people with recovery efforts. It's interesting because I had done a video about Eliza Blue and Kirby Sommers, and that video was removed because Eliza filed a privacy complaint, but just for that one video, and got it taken down. And in that video, I talked about Kirby Sommers, how she was a real estate agent. She also is what I believe is somebody posing as a fake survivor. But I can't say that 100%, but there's a lot of questions in her story. And she was involved also in Katrina relief funding. And she got a letter from Bill Clinton. Kirby Sommers did. She was bragging about working with the Clinton Foundation. She was bragging about getting Hillary Clinton's staffers set up in New York when she won her Senate seat there. So there's a lot of questions about Kirby Sommers, but I just thought that was interesting. So if you had seen that video prior to it being removed, you'd understand the connection there. There was the Haiti Fund. This was the Clinton-Bush project. So this is another indication, by the way, that party doesn't really mean anything to these people. They see themselves, these elites, they see themselves as above binaries like left and right, or also right and wrong. They think that's for the masses. And Chelsea Clinton was part of this Haiti stuff as well. So she is involved also. She likes to pretend she's not too involved with her family and their business, but of course she is. She was absolutely part of this. This woman, for people who are unfamiliar with her, this is Laura Silsby. We also had the Oxfam scandal coming out of Haiti. Top Oxfam staff paid Haiti survivors for sex. So that was a major scandal. Charity covered up scandal in earthquake zone. Girls at Caligula ORGY may have been underage. Well, yes, they were, and it's very disturbing. So I want people to understand that Haiti is very, very corrupt. And for wealthy, connected people, it's like it gives them, the ability to kind of run free and do things there that maybe they wouldn't get away with in a more developed nation. So here was just another article. UN peacekeepers fathered hundreds of children while serving in Haiti, including children who sold SCX for food, report finds. UN peacekeepers fathered hundreds of babies with Haitian women, a report said. A study by the University of Birmingham found girls as young as 11 were traded. After their children were born, the young mothers were, quote, left to a life of poverty. An academic said it was impossible to know exactly how many were impregnated. Now we have a woman who died in Haiti November 13th. I hate to say this, but I've got to put on my glasses to read this. This is how you know you're getting old. I'm just kidding. I'm not that old. I'm only 34, but I just have really bad vision. I've got to put on my glasses to read small print like this. So she was previously a research intern at the Laboratory to Combat HT. She also was a research fellow and assistant director at the HT Center. She also served on the Colorado HT Council's Data and Research Task Force. Both LCHT and HTC announced her passing on Facebook. There are links there. It was not immediately clear under what circumstances she passed, and this remains so to this day. As of today, November 22nd, the family has not received Monica's remains. Although the family held a memorial service on Friday, November 18th, there was no proper funeral/burial for Monica. The family is relying on information coming out of Haiti and has not had the chance to conduct a proper autopsy in the U.S. Friends of Monica have made mentions and suggestions that they are in the dark as far as finding out what happened, and some alluded to Monica's passing being considered a suicide, while others say she was homicided. Monica goes to Haiti. On August 15th, 2015, Monica announced her plan to visit Haiti to conduct research on HT. She has lived there since. There is several archived links there. After several weeks, Monica discovers corruption in Haiti involving the Clintons and people/entities related to him. Her focuses her research on HC from that moment on. On January 3rd, 2016, Monica shared with her friend Bella some of her findings based on her fieldwork in Haiti thus far. By this time, she'd already become aware corruption by the Clintons in Haiti starts to connect the dots on what I already suspected. In fact, she was getting ready to dive full time. Quote, Ms. Clinton has corrupt and dirty business practices. Corrupt and dirty business to finish in Haiti. This is the theory my master's thesis puts forth. This is modern structural slavery. Bella reshared this post by Monica to a Facebook group that she belonged to. In that same post, Monica also links to this blog post discussing similar claims. The day after, on January 4th, 2016, Monica again shared with her friend Bella some more of her findings. Quote, but the real significance of this scandal for me, I know you feel me, Bella, is the link to contemporary slavery and tea. I can't say to what extent, but there is HT happening through the Clintons' Carayol complex. Monica has been researching HT for a long time. She wrote this blog post in 2014, Root Causes and Contradictions of the Displaced Youth Along the U.S.-Mexico Border. She testified along with Professor Claude D'Estrée in front of the Colorado Senate Committee on HT Matters. She gave presentations in the field of HT. Monica's memorial service was streamed live on November 18th and covered live there. Her boss and professor said she decided to take on one of the demagogues in the field of HT. produced a 110-page analysis on HT in Haiti, 2 years of research. We were looking for someone who was smart enough and maybe brave enough to publish her work. I will continue to seek out and publish it for her. We are in a state of shock. We may never know what exactly happened to her. I'm not suggesting anything, but for the sake of completeness, I should mention that Claude Destré worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office on behalf of DynCorp between 1999 and 2002. Very interesting there. And this is coming from the Laboratory to Combat HT. This was just a post they made regarding Monica's passing. We are deeply saddened to share the news that Monica Peterson, a former LCHT research intern 2014, passed away in Haiti this week. Monica was a passionate social justice champion who supported the anti-T movement in Colorado, and in so many ways. She recently graduated from DU's Corbell School and was a past research fellow and assistant director at the HTC. She also served on the Colorado HT Council's Data and Research Task Force. We remember Monica as an outspoken professional who never grew tired in confronting institutions or holding up the voices of those who weren't being heard. Her own experience in the child welfare system led her to a deep belief in survivor-informed approach to combat HT. We're waiting details on a memorial service for her. So that was the post they made, just acknowledging this. Now back to Laura Silsby. Silsby, the leader of 10 U.S. Baptist missionaries facing kidnapping charges in Haiti, is no stranger to legal and financial troubles. The 40-year-old Idaho businesswoman convinced members of Idaho's Central Valley Baptist Church to follow her dream of building an orphanage in the Dominican Republic for Haitian children. But her other business and personal ventures revealed a checkered history. She has faced 14 legal complaints for unpaid wages in connection with her online shopping business, Personal Shopper. Employees won 9 of those complaints, and Silsby was ordered to pay $31,000 in wages plus another $4,000 in fines, according to the New York Times. So AlertSense provides technology for issuing Amber Alerts. Guess who's the vice president of AlertSense? Laura Silsby, who was caught trafficking 33 kids out of Haiti. So that AlertSense is sort of like an Amber Alert type thing. So that's just interesting. Bill Clinton urges solution to Haiti case. They put that one word in quotations. Very interesting. Port-au-Prince, former U.S. President Bill Clinton urged the U.S. and Haitian governments on Friday to resolve the case of 10 American missionaries accused of trying to take children illegally out of quake-hit Haiti. And just to include this in for good measure, an email regarding Haiti elections with Cheryl Mills. This comes from the WikiLeaks emails. FYI, I told Bob that BC, that's Bill Clinton, cannot engage on this issue, hiring a contractor to help with elections, and that I would refer the email to you. I suggested to Bob that James Lee talk to you about anything to do with elections because BC cannot engage. And so this email that was forwarded says, Laura, just a heads up that James Lee Witt has spoken to President Clinton about a company we are working with that does successful elections in underdeveloped and developing countries. The name is Smartmatic. They just completed a successful election in the Philippines. I will send you an article on this. They also have extensive experience in many places. I will send you their record. They are one of the top 3 most successful companies in the world in this kind of work. I will send you info on them. James Lee will ask if the president has time to meet with them and their thoughts on the Haiti elections. So I just wanted to give that background before going into this. Jake Johnston just tweeted this out today. The U.S. attorney overseeing the investigation into the 2021 assassination of Haiti's president just confirmed that one of the defendants was an active FBI informant, as the Miami Herald had already reported. But the attorney added, quote, he couldn't possibly have been sharing with the FBI, unquote. Oh, right. Oh, that couldn't possibly be happening. I mean, come on, guys. Question. The question of Pretel being an FBI informant while this was going on. And obviously, he must not have told his FBI contacts he was involved in this affair, in this murder. Does the FBI have anything to say about that? Because clearly on the face of it, he duped them. Oh, right. He could not have been telling them the truth. He certainly could not have been telling them he was part of the plot. So what is the reaction to that? Answer. The reaction to that is, while he may have in fact been a source, but I think you know your question has its own answer. He couldn't possibly have been sharing with the FBI that he was going to actually be part of a plot, one, initially to depose the president, and two, to yeet him. I cannot imagine that is the case. Oh, right. The FBI surely was aware by April 2021 at the latest that one of its informants was involved in a plot aimed at regime change in Haiti from an FBI affidavit in the charging documents. At the April meeting, CTU represented that it was associated with the U.S. Department of Justice and or the FBI and took steps to falsely suggest the U.S. government sanctioned its operational plan. For instance, Ortiz arranged a meeting with the FBI by advising the FBI that those accompanying Ortiz had information to provide the FBI about T. Thus, on or about April 6, 2021, a meeting took place with the FBI at which Ortiz and other conspirators were present. Those present attempted to draw the FBI personnel attending the meeting into a discussion about regime change in Haiti. In response, an FBI agent told the men in substance that the FBI could not help them because Haiti had to solve its own political problems. At the time, Ortiz was a confidential source for the FBI with respect to matters unrelated to the plot to remove President Moïse. It appears that Ortiz may have tried to use that pre-existing relationship in the above referenced meeting to suggest to others that CTU was affiliated with the FBI and or DOJ. It was not, and Ortiz did not disclose to the FBI the criminal conduct alleged herein. After the events described in this affidavit, Ortiz was deactivated as a source. In addition to the false suggestion that CTU had ties to the FBI/DOJ, Salages falsely claimed that he had been in the U.S. military, and Vincent wore a pin that created the false impression he was affiliated with the Department of State and also had fake clown credentials. Now, moving on. Boltzmann Booty has done tremendous work on this, and we don't have time to go into all of this stuff. I just wanted to provide an introduction to this for you guys. I will include all of the links in the video description so you can look at it yourself and do more research on your own. This is in the AP version of this story. They note that James Salages, one of the participants arrested before this most recent round of arrests, quote, falsely, unquote, told the others that the assassination of President Moïse was a clown operation. There's a Washington Post article that is linking to a day before the you know what, Salages falsely told other suspects it was a clown operation and the real mission was to yeet the president. Shortly before Moïse was yeeted, Salages yelled that it was supposedly a DEA operation so that the president's security detail would comply. This is responding to Robert saying, LOL, U.S. arrests for more in the assassination of Haiti's president. The suspects, including 3 Americans, were arrested and indicted by a federal grand jury on Tuesday for their alleged ties to the 2021 killing. Among those indicted by a federal grand jury and detained were Antonio Intriago, a Venezuelan American, Arcangel Pretel Ortiz, a Colombian living in the U.S., the owners of a South Florida security company tied to the plot to yeet the former Haitian leader. At the time of the yeeting, Mr. Pretel was an FBI informant, but the agency terminated its relationship with him after the yeeting, according to federal court documents. Oh, okay. Why, thank you. Ooh, let's give a hand for the stunning and brave federal agents there. Well, after he yeeted the Haitian president, you know, we severed ties. We burned our guy. Okay. Yeah. So, Patel, the FBI informant who says he spoke with U.S. government officials before helping yeet Haiti's president, was a, quote, Colombian military trainer who worked anti-narcotics operations in the 90s at the time of close cooperation between the CIA, DEA, and Colombian forces. Oof. Seems notable that FBI informant Patel was also involved in Colombian narco operations during a time of close collaboration with the CIA. Yes, the case involves a Haitian businessman who is also in U.S. custody, Rodolphe Jarre, who is a former DEA informant who spent time in jail for smuggling C. A second DEA informant, Joseph Vincent, is one of 3 Haitian Americans who was arrested with the Colombians in Haiti. Another suspect named in a Haitian police investigation into the yeeting. Archangel Patel is a former Colombian military trainer who worked closely with anti-narcotics operations in the 90s. Yes, at a time of close cooperation between the clowns, the DEA, Colombian forces to bring down the Medellin and Cali C cartels. Patel repeatedly brought FBI agents to the office of the company whose owner was arrested for involvement in the yeeting. Oh, but the FBI had no idea. Patel allegedly claimed to have worked for the FBI and invited agents to visit the office of CTU on a number of occasions. And the agents were made aware of the actions of CTU in the upcoming Haiti business plan, the lawyers say. The CIA director happened to visit Colombia, the home country of many of the yeeters, for, quote, delicate, unquote, and intelligence-related reasons. A week before, Haiti's president was yeeted by a group of primarily Colombian mercenaries with ties to the FBI, DEA, CIA, and U.S. military. CIA Director William Burns visited Colombia to assist with a delicate, important mission in terms of intelligence. Oh, a delicate mission. It was very delicate. Yeah, gee, I wonder what that mission could have been. Here's June of 2021. CIA director arrives in Colombia to lead sensitive security mission. Venezuela on alert. Right. William Burns arrived in Colombia to participate in a delicate mission in terms of security as part of the cooperation. I like that they put that in quotations between the two countries. The Colombian ambassador in Washington, Francisco Santos, reported on the arrival of the CIA director. However, Santos did not want to provide additional details about Burns's visit to Bogota. I prefer not to tell you. It is a delicate mission, an important one in terms of intelligence. He spoke opaquely when asked. And then, oh, yeah, just, he was taken out, Jovenel Moïse, the president of Haiti, July 7th. And look at the date of this article, June, 1 month before. I mean, honestly, guys, honestly. There was a failed coup against Haiti's President Moïse in 2021 with intriguing connections to his yeeting some months later. Lynn Garrison, a Canadian vet with ties to CIA and DIA who participated in a CIA cyber campaign against Haiti's first president, seems to have helped encourage it. Surprise, surprise. A failed coup shortly before the yeeting happened to receive support from a strange Canadian who has previously participated in CIA operations aimed at Haitian regime change. The plan had begun at least 5 months earlier. In late August, Marie-Antoinette Gauthier, a doctor and former medical director of Haiti's General Hospital, received a call from someone she didn't know, a man identifying himself as Marc Philippe, who wanted to talk about the future of Haiti. He claimed to have support from the U.S. government and wanted to help put together a transitional government. The two struck up something of a friendship and often spoke for an hour or more in the evenings. Other members of Gauthier's family also started speaking with Philippe, including her sister, a high-ranking inspector in the Haitian National Police. Quote, he became almost part of the family, Gauthier said. Looking back, months later. Still, Gauthier and her husband say they were skeptical. That is, until they spoke with Carol Tranchett and her husband, Lynn Garrison, a former Canadian Air Force pilot, who convinced them otherwise. Quote, everyone thinks he is CIA. Louis Battau, Gauthier's husband, told me in the early 90s, following a coup that ousted the country's first democratically elected president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, Garrison served as a political advisor to the leader of the military junta that seized power. Though he has previously denied being CIA, he has claimed to have ties with U.S. intelligence agencies and among U.S. politicians. Garrison is credited with being a source for the CIA's early 90s allegation that Aristide suffered from mental illness. Believing this plan might actually be legitimate, the Gauthiers continued to speak with Philippe. He explained they needed housing in Haiti for the plan, a place where they could hold meetings in confidence. Gauthier reached out to an old friend, Jean-Marie Vorbet, whose company, Sojourner, had been seized by the government the year prior. Vorbet, like many in the nation's elite families, had financially backed Moïse's presidential campaign. But by 2020, with his business gone and family under threat of further legal issues, that relationship had been completely severed. Vorbet owned Petite Bois residences. With friends like these, a host of shadowy figures is helping Haiti's military rulers hatch a plan to sideline Aristide permanently. That was from the 90s. Impish and paunchy, with the shock of white hair and the rumpled look of a blanc Manon, a white man who has lived in the tropics too long, Lynn Garrison describes himself simply, if cryptically, as a, quote, friend of Haiti, unquote. But this is a friend with unusual connections. Frequently, Garrison can be spotted scampering along the colonnaded balcony of military headquarters in Port-au-Prince before slipping off into the office of Lieutenant General Raoul Cedres, Haiti's military ruler. Even when the Haitian military was bracing for a U.S. Marine landing last month, harried and grim-faced senior commanders still paused in their duties to shake hands with a tiny Canadian. When the action is less tense, Garrison skin dives with Cedres and smooches on the phone with staffers of U.S. Senators Jesse Helms and Bob Dole, offering insider tidbits about Haiti's political situation. Everything the U.S. Senate knows comes from me, he boasted. Rumors about Garrison abound. It is believed that the native of Calgary carries a U.S. green card and has a home in L.A. He is credited with or blamed for masterminding a propaganda campaign against the exiled president that was allegedly responsible, at least in part, for the recent CIA charges that Aristide is a manic depressive. Aristide calls such allegations garbage. His sympathizers in Miami claim Garrison is the CIA's designated handler for Cedres. Garrison says he's not CIA, but claims to have long-standing contacts within both the CIA and DIA. He says in the 70s he worked with the Americans to overthrow the Libyan regime of Gaddafi. Oh, what a shock. The Haitian president that U.S. government informants yeeted earlier this year was apparently in the process of cracking down on drugs and arms trafficking. His yeeters stole a list of drug kingpins he was compiling. President Moïse was apparently in the midst of cracking down on bad behavior. He also happened to be in the process of attempting to strengthen bilateral relations with Russia, and here is where it all starts to make sense. Remember what this proxy war with NATO and Ukraine and Russia right now, it's a big deal. The month he was yeeted by a bunch of guys with hazy ties to the U.S. government, Haiti's President Moïse met with the Russian ambassador to Haiti to discuss, quote, the prospects for strengthening bilateral relations between the two countries. Let's look at that. I received this Wednesday, June 2nd, the letters of credence crediting Sergei Melik Bagdasarov as ambassador to the Russian Federation in Haiti. During the discussions, we discussed the prospects for strengthening bilateral relations between the two countries. Can't have that. Intriguingly, Moïse seems to have been our guy early in his presidency. Article has other interesting information. Moïse, the Haitian president, assassinated last year by U.S. intelligence and law enforcement connected mercenaries, was originally a Washington favorite and had the support of major players in a prior CIA-backed coup against Aristide. The remark was in response to the country's current political crises, a crisis largely created by Washington that forced the postponement of a runoff presidential election. The first round vote last October was so marred by fraud, corruption, and envy that all other candidates save Washington's favorite and handpicked successor to the current president, Michael Martelly, Jovenel Moïse, were boycotting the second runoff round. In other words, the runoff had only one candidate, Washington's. For months, the Obama administration insisted that the runoff take place, working hard to discredit the fraud charges. The goal of the U.S., the State Department said in a quote-unquote fact sheet updated just last week as street protests were gaining force, was, quote, credible, inclusive, and legitimate elections that genuinely reflect the will of the Haitian people. Martelly, who was also installed by Washington in rigged elections in 2010, wants his would-be successor Moïse to complete the Duvaralist DS restoration, which has been underway since the country's devastating 2010 earthquake. A key supporter of Moïse and hence de facto ally of the White House is Guy Philippe. Philippe has all the right qualifications to serve as Washington's man in Haiti. He has deep ties to paramilitaries and is wanted, but somehow never captured by the DEA for drug running and money laundering. Oh, isn't that interesting? In 2004, he helped George W. Bush administration via the International Republican Institute, a public-private organization that receives its funding both from the U.S. government and corporations like Halliburton and Chevron, to overthrow Jean-Bertrand Aristide in 2004. At the time, Jeffrey Sachs was offering some of the best analysis of the motives for that coup, writing that Bush came into office hoping to oust Aristide. You know, it really makes you wonder. A former CIA station chief quickly ran the line that his, quote, gut, unquote, told him it was a case of Haiti's, quote, morally repugnant elites cannibalizing their own. Fulton Armstrong, an American University Haiti expert who headed the CIA's branch there in the early 90s, so when they were running around doing regime change back then, said his gut also told him the crime was the work of what U.S. officials once called Haiti's MREs, the morally repugnant elites. Right. So funny. Intriguingly, the same station chief admitted last year that Aristide's second removal from power in 2004 had a hidden CIA hand. In an interview this year, Fulton Armstrong, former CIA chief in Haiti, admitted for the first time that the CIA had secret relationships, quote, with certain people whose primary purpose was to overthrow Aristide and lay the groundwork, unquote, for the 2004 coup. This comes from the Gray Zone. By the way, if I'm butchering, sorry to interject here, but I'm having to splice this together, or this is just going to be part two because I got cut off when I was recording. I literally ran out of disk space, so we're picking up on part two of our video on the U.S. intelligence connections to the yeeting of Haiti's President Moïse. Now we're just going through some of the intel connections, and it is truly amazing. We left off talking about the overthrow of the prior Haitian president by a CIA group, and you know, it's more than the CIA involved, and he was talking about that. Continuing on, it was already well known that the CIA heavily supported the perpetrators of the first coup against Aristide. Do you think the fact that the CIA created a puppet intelligence service in Haiti that trafficked drugs and helped coup their first elected president in 1991 should be noted when trying to figure out who killed Haiti's president and stole his list of drug trafficking kingpins in 2021. Aristide claimed in 94 50 tons of C per year worth $1 billion annually flowed through Haiti at the time. In 94, when Aristide was trying to return to power, which the clowns tried to thwart by helping fund and organize a tea organization that opposed his return, told the UN, quote, each year, Haiti is the transit point for nearly 50 tons of C worth more than $1 billion. the CIA heavily penetrated the police force in Haiti, which were heavily involved in the yeeting of President Moïse. 20 or so of the folks arrested in connection to the 2021 yeeting of Haiti's president were members of Haiti's police. On a possibly related note, when democracy was nominally reestablished after the CIA's first coup in Haiti, they thoroughly penetrated the rebuilt police. So, several business leaders have publicly condemned Moïse's yeeting. To date, 18 Colombians, some 20 Haitian police, and a handful of other Haitian and Haitian American suspects were arrested. Now, this is a quote. The CIA has placed agents within the rebuilt Haitian National Police, where, according to the transition chief for President-elect René Préval, they operate outside the control of the legal Haitian government. In an interview 9 days before Préval's scheduled inauguration, the transition chief, Chavanis Jean-Baptiste, told the nation, quote, "The CIA is present within the police. It is present in all parts, but what their plan is, I don't have it." His statement has been confirmed by U.S. officials familiar with the operation, who say that much of the CIA recruitment took place during the FBI's International Criminal Investigations Training Assistance Program, police training, which was done last year at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, at the insistence of the Clinton White House and over initial objections from the Aristide government. Unbelievable. Repression works, quote unquote. Former CIA Haitian station chief who helped create a brutal T organization led by a known CIA asset in an attempt to facilitate regime change. So John Camborian, the former CIA station chief from 92 to 94, told a businessman in Haiti in early 93 that repression works. After arriving, Camborian embarked on an anti-Aristide spree, functioning as one of the architects of FRAF, the paramilitary T org. Repression works, John Camborian, CIA station chief, told an acquaintance of mine, a businessman in Haiti in early 93, quote, "It worked in Russia for 40 years, unquote. When I related this conversation to a State Department official who worked closely with Camborian throughout the Haiti crisis, said, "That sounds exactly like Camborian." Another U.S. official who spoke to Camborian says he absolutely denies ever having made such a remark. If this is Camborian's view, it was and is problematic, to say the least. Repression, of course, does work at the expense of the rule of law, innocent lives, and freedom. Repression can create order and wealth for the privileged few and misery for everyone else. After arriving at his post in 92, Camborian embarked on an anti-Aristide spree, launching a smear campaign focused on the president in exile's mental health. Camborian vowed to associates among Haitian military and oligarchy Aristide would never again set foot on the island, and most damagingly, functioning as one of the behind-the-scenes architect of FRAF, a paramilitary organization. The FRAF flamed into international headlines in October 93 when they unexpectedly succeeded with Camborian's prodding, according to Nairn, in transforming a staged media event, a quote nationalist protest against foreign intervention, into an indelible American humiliation by preventing the USS Harlan County, set to enforce the governor's island agreement, from docking in Port-au-Prince. Wow. The current acting president and PM of Haiti came into politics in a NED, CIA-backed anti-Aristide political movement. Ariel Henry has been acting as Haiti's acting president and PM since shortly after the 2021 yeeting of its president by mercenaries tied to the U.S. military, intel, and law enforcement. He entered politics with Democratic Convergence, a neocon NGO, non-government organization / National Endowment for Democracy / CIA-backed coalition that toppled Aristide in 2004. Spoiler, I think the CIA did it, but luckily we will never know thanks to the laws. Documents on the U.S. intelligence connections of the guys that yeeted Haiti's president last year are going to remain classified in the interest of national security. That comes from the Miami Herald. A can of worms. U.S. seeks to keep Moise yeeting suspects' FBI DEA ties under wraps. The undercover work of former U.S. government informants suspected of of plotting to yeet Haiti's president has compelled Miami federal prosecutors to seal off evidence about their past activities in the interest of U.S. national security, saying the information is classified and cannot be turned over to the defense in the widening investigation. That is just amazing. Don't take my word for it. Here is a high-ranking former DEA official saying the U.S. is, quote, pretty much telegraphing CIA involvement, unquote, in the yeeting by invoking rules generally used to cover up covert operations. Appointing a classified information security officer to obscure U.S. intelligence links. Quote, the DOJ stunned observers when it requested the court in Miami hearing Mr. Palacios' case appoint a classified information security officer to bar the suspect's testimony from being made public because he has an undisclosed link to American intelligence agencies. A lot of relevant sourcing in this. I put together a bunch of articles and quotes about the yeeting of Haiti's president last year, focusing on indications of U.S. intel involvement in escalating international intervention. Not an article or essay, just an info dump. So I will include the link to that in the video description. Multiple former DEA informants were involved in the yeeting of President Moïse. Quote, by 1977, some 125 quote-unquote former CIA officers had infiltrated the DEA at every level, making everything possible from black market arms exchanges to negotiations with T's to political yeetings. It also put the CIA in total control of targeting. Wow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's still a little bit more. This is the article that was referenced. There is a ton of sources in here documenting everything that happened. He's got interesting quotes pulled out from each piece, so you can definitely go through that. I would look at it. Let's see. The government is pretty much telegraphing CIA involvement. Yes, a literal former head of operations for the DEA in the Caribbean said that the government is telegraphing involvement of the clowns and what happened in Haiti. The Haitian president, the U.S. government informants yeeted earlier, was apparently in the process of cracking down on drugs and arms trafficking. His assassin stole a list that he was compiling. Very wild. Let's see. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I will include the links for all this stuff in the video description. I really appreciate you guys going through the video. I know it's pretty long, but I think it's important to talk about because, look, it's a big deal. The U.S. government should not have the ability to go around deposing heads of foreign countries, the leaders of foreign nations, having them yeeted and then installing a puppet regime. I think it's unacceptable, and I think it's very disturbing. So I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on this? Do you guys know much about Haitian politics? Do you know much about the history after the earthquake there with the different NGOs, foundations, so-called charities, and peacekeeping troops coming in? What do you think of the whole story? I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. If you like the video, please share it if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, channel memberships are open. If you want to become a supporting member, you get access to cute little custom emojis and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day.